Hey everyone, Coffee Mug here, picking back up on Novice. I recently got the purple science knocked out in my new expansion down here. I still got to add all the decorative stuff, but we are going full go, 1500 science per minute purple science now. And with that, I'm able to do massive amounts of these mining productivities, right? These are going to take like 7-8 minutes to burn through and research these. So it's going to be going so fast. So I can do that and steel. I'm going to really kind of get those going while I'm doing all this other stuff, because I still need to go get my Prometheum science so I can start doing research productivity. But in the meantime, I can blast away mining productivity. Maybe some of these other ones, like I can build up some stockpiles of electromagnetic. So I think what my plan is I'm just going to extend down. So with that being said, I'm going to make a more permanent wall here on the left and on the top, and on the right. So just think about expanding downwards. So I'm going to set up a permanent wall. I'm going to delete all these old rails, delete my old base, and reorganize it. I'll probably make a stacker kind of like this. I think I'm going to put this around here. Then just kind of shuffle things around and get everything cleaned up. I do need to, I've noticed that my base here seems to be running low on some molten iron. Now that it's been running for a bit, so I need to clean up this molten iron system. It's just not producing stuff fast enough, which is slowing things down, which is probably why I'm stopping. Or it's going to slow me down eventually. So yeah, I need to really clean up this molten iron. I know I can capable of getting a lot more out of this now that I've set this up. So if you look at my mining now, I'm mining about 18 per second, and it's only consuming 7. So I can probably get some much more improved beacons and modules here around the foundries. So hopefully I can speed those up. Cool. And then other than that, just kind of clean up all this old structure that I've been meaning to clean up, setting up permanent walls, and I need to think about a train system that can come and deliver supplies for my walls too. So I'm probably not going to record most of that, just because it's just going to be deleting stuff and shuffling stuff around. One thing I'll kind of mention here that I'm experimenting with, so you can see here, all the pollution stops because I have these tree farms here. You can really kind of see how much that sucks up pollution like that. That's really incredible. All right, so I'm going to get to clean up this base. I'm not really going to record most of this because it's just going to be kind of boring. Then I'll show you what I got once I get it finished. Okay, so I've made a lot of progress here on my cleanup. I've just been tinkering for a couple hours, just trying out new things and organizing things. Nothing I really felt like was that important to show you. I took hours to do stuff that I normally do in like 15 minutes, just because I was tinkering around with stuff and playing around. So let me kind of show you everything I did here. So the first thing is I fixed up my perimeter. Before, I had this artillery train that the train would pull up into my little defense, and then that would go and clear out the surrounding biters. You can see my artillery range is relatively large, and then I was doing some exploratory artillery with my manual firing. If you've never done that, it's a good way to reveal some map areas if you've never done that before. That goes further than the range. And so basically what I did is instead of having to go all the way around, I built a permanent wall here at the top and the right, and I used this lake, so wall to the left, basically leaving like the bottom and the left kind of undefended or open, although eventually I probably will wall up the left-hand side, because my idea is I want to expand southwards for the most part, because it does look like there's a lot of water over here to the right. And there's these big large lakes up here at the top. So down here in the bottom, I got this big open landmass, which I want to take advantage of. For my wall defense, so what I have here is a train. This loads up with I started making some uranium bullets with all this excess 238 that I have. I have a ton of 238 just laying around. So I made a bunch of bullets. This train right here is just a variety of parts. I don't know, I left it relatively sparse just because I don't really need a lot of stuff in here. This train loads up with artillery shells, and then this one has some bots and some repair packs. And so you can see it's sleeping right now because there's no open ports, and so that will effectively pull out through this outer rail here and pull into one of these defense areas. And so my wall itself is just, you can think of it like a repeating unit of, see, right here is where I divide it like this. And so basically this right here was just repeated up and down the lengths of the wall. Tesla turret followed by 6 laser turrets and 6 regular guns. And so the train will pull in here. If it'll unload any robots that I need, I accidentally took way too many, looks like. And then these only enter the robot port if there is less than 50. So I actually have way more robots than I need. Eventually some of these might die out from biters, but it's not really a big deal because bots are kind of cheap. And so basically this will deliver repair packs and and robots into this roboport. And the roboport itself, if we look at the coverage, it's just this isolated network right here. There's 2 of these little perimeter defense stops. But they kind of cover this whole area, delivering my uranium bullets, which I drop off here, as well as repairing anything that may need. Then down here is kind of a little bit of everything that if something gets damaged, I can repair it. And the thing that pulls the train in is this box right here. So right now you can see there's 19 artillery shells. This comes on a certain network over to here. And once I get down to 0 artillery, it sends a train limit of 1 signal out, and then that changes the limit here to 1 and calls in a train. So that's why it's sleeping right now, because all of my outposts have perimeters. And so I got a pretty large defense area. You can see it covers, almost this whole left half up here. And the one over here on the right, it covers this whole right half with a lot of overlapping here in the middle, but that's fine. That keeps a good distance away. Then from my pollution cloud perspective, it's nowhere even near the perimeter, so I really have nothing to worry about. The only time these cannons will fire now is when there's an expansion that gets into the area. So over here, same thing. I got perimeter defense here, which kind of covers this gap on the top side of this lake. Up and then down here, this perimeter defense here gets this large area right here, defending all of this area right there. From expansion. And just like before, I got my pollution cloud in check, so I only really have to worry about expansions. Ooh, look at this, I got attack coming. Let's watch it. So down here on the bottom, I have an open end with these artillery train locations. And the reason I did that is because, again, I'm expanding downwards, and I don't want to have to rebuild that wall constantly over and over and over as I take it down and build it back up. That was a kind of a large one. You can see it just did a little bit of damage to one of the turrets, and not really a ton. Normally because I was firing a bunch of artillery off. That's why it ended up that way. Normally it's not really that large. Let's roast this guy. Oh, is he gonna move out of the way? He is, isn't he? Oh, that jerk. Escaped. Oh, he escaped. Let's get him this time. A bigger reach. This guy dodges this one. I'm so mad. Come on, get him! Get him! There we go. Okay, cool. Yeah, so the bottom edge, again, because I want to expand, I can easily expand that without tearing down a wall, and then I don't have to tear down all these little bullets, which is annoying. It'll take forever. So then now my perimeter train is much smaller, and it's more straight. So it just comes down here, kind of hits the key open areas, keeps those areas clean, and then when I'm ready to expand, it'll be easy to go and expand. And so to control my pollution, you probably remember that I was experimenting with these tree farms, using robots to deliver these and growing these tree farms. And you can see here, this really kind of sucks up the pollution. So I basically added that to the perimeter of all my bases. I have these larger tree farms. I did this without bots though. So basically, all right, so here's my tree farm basically it outputs the wood onto this conveyor belt, which goes all the way to the left to a recycler. This inserter here grabs some wood to make seeds, which is stored in the chest and then feed my agriculture tower. Then I have a rare here substation. That way I can just have a single substation for each one. And I optimized this so there's only 3 areas that aren't allowed to grow. My old design had 4, so I got 1 more area of tree, which is kind of nice. And these just basically this just grows a massive forest and cuts it down, and then sends all the wood down here, and then this wood is just recycled into nothing, and it just disappears. So that did a great job. Like this, see how this was dark red? The dark red had extended almost all the way out to this lake. Then the light red was coming out here towards these lakes. So this again stuck back like a couple inches of my screen of where this pollution cloud was. Same thing here up at the top. This controls a pollution cloud going up the top. I'm going to add some solar panels up here. I decided not to use landfill on the lake. Oh, look, we just killed, see there, I just killed an expansion as soon as it tried to form. So I'm going to get now just a tiny little bug wave attack instead of a big one. So yeah, I'm going to add some more solar panels up here just to add some power, because I'm not really going to be doing anything with this top area. I'm probably not going to go mine any of these ores. These aren't that valuable enough that I need them. So I'll probably fill in solar panels on all the land masses up here. Okay, so I had a stone outpost here that died. I eventually moved my stone outpost down here. My mining productivity, if you're looking at it, it's like 112. It was about 30, upper 30s when I stopped recording to do this cleanup. Because this is like a level 112 and it still only takes me 15 minutes to do, right? I'm just researching so fast now. It was taking like 5 minutes, less than 5 minutes a level right at the start. Like it took me 6 minutes back around 40. So this has just been pumping away my mining efficiency, which is all the ones that I now have maxed out. So basically I set up a very simple direct mining system. Each big miner pumps it into a car and it fills up very fast. So I don't need all of the, conveyor belts, levers, inserters, all that jazz. It makes it much more simplified and a lower UPS absorption, which not hugely important yet, but UPS does become important later. And then I also cleaned up my coal here a little bit. I started this incorporating some quality into my mining here. So I put quality modules in here and I collect the higher quality stuff, and then I recycle just some regular coal here to try to make a loop. Right, and then I get more and more quality. The rare or the uncommons come here. It gets upcycled to rares, and then epic, and then eventually legendary. And I'm starting to fill up some legendary coal here, which I'm going to want for some legendary plastic and legendary low density structures. So I figured I would just start doing that now. And because of the success of that, I made another one down here. This one I used these quality single miners. I had a bunch of these laying around because I was experimenting with them, and I realized that the resource drain is 16%, which means the resource drain is much better than these miners. So here I'm using rare big miners, and these have a resource drain of 33%. So these legendary quality basic miners have a better resource drain. The only downside is they don't stack on the belt. And even here, like this one, I'm not even moving that quickly. That's fine though. And so basically what I did is I have the belt come up here, and then I have an outpost for the quality items. Separate so it's off. Then the regular coal I stack inserters in the chest, so that way I have a stacked belt. Then all of the higher quality stuff comes up here on the top. The non-quality stuff comes down in the middle. This all gets recycled. I probably could have added more of these. At first I was doing this without stacking it, and this was like the right amount for not having it stacked, and then I stacked it. Well, it wasn't the right amount for it not being stacked because it was barely making it halfway through, and then I stacked it, and now it goes all the way to the end, which was unfortunate. I probably could have added more here and sped this up a little bit, but again, it's not that important that I have it going like max speed. So the regular stuff that makes its way around just comes back here, gets restacked, and then enters again. And all of the rare stuff makes its way out here. The rare stuff gets recycled. I probably shouldn't use legendary quality there, but that's fine. So we have uncommon, rare, epic, and then I'm getting some legendary ones here. This one I just built, and it's almost catching up to the one at the top, actually. So this is really kind of good use of these legendary miners. And I figured I would just mine that out. And I'm going to start another one of these here, just because I have this coal patch here that I just want to get rid of. So this is a smaller one, so I'm going to try to mine those out. I just even use regular miners here to help mine this out as quick as possible. So I'm going to build another one of those here. I did, again, more just kind of little minor touches to my base just to kind of clean things up a bit. Nothing really major to report there. I got some tree farms above and below to help suck up pollution, right? You can kind of see how right here there's like all dark red and then it's sort of light red by this tree farm. So that's really doing a good job sucking up pollution. So I got tree farms here at the top and bottom. This right here, you might notice there's a second base here where I was talking about this coal. I basically copied the production in the trains, but the stuff it produces are a little bit different and the belt structure is a little bit different. So this base right here is going to be strictly for modules plus legendary upcycling. And that's kind of my plan with this base. I'm also getting a petroleum and sulfuric acid outpost. And I feel like I'm short sulfuric acid for some reason, but I'll figure that out later. Oh, there it is. Is that it? Yeah, I had the wrong thing there. Did I do that here too? Oh no, that was a new one. Okay. Cool, so I got that fixed out. Fixed now. Let's double check it. Yep, this comes up here. Okay, it was this one that was broke. Oh, there we go. This comes up here and this filling thing. All right, so this sulfuric acid will eventually be for my uranium outpost. I'm gonna ship sulfuric acid out to do the mining. Then the petroleum, I was thinking about using this petroleum at first to bring it over to, what I plan to do actually is bring that petroleum over to where I have this legendary coal being made, and then turn that into legendary plastic. So I'm thinking about doing that, but then in hindsight, I actually don't want to do that now that I've thought about it. So I might end up deleting this petroleum eventually. I'm just going to leave it there for now in case I decide to use it, or I come up with the reason to use it. But basically this base, I'm just building a bunch of green circuits, a bunch of red circuits, got a bunch of plastic. And then here I'm making sulfuric acid, and that's pretty much all I'm using with that. And I got a ton of blue circuits here. I was experimenting with some blue circuit upcycling. So I'm up to like 2,000 legendary blue circuits now. These go so fast, particularly because I'm up to level 14 blue circuits. And so what's great about that is I can put some quality modules in my thing here, and you can see my production limit is now at 300%. So I'm kind of at max productivity limit. So every time I make a legendary circuit, I actually make 4 of them because I got 300 productivity. So that's I was just experimenting with these. I turned it off because I'm gonna be moving it. I don't want it here. I was just playing around with it, but I'm basically going to be using all of these legendary blue circuits, some to downcycle into legendary green and red, and then turn it ultimately into legendary copper and steel. And then the legendary plastic, which I was talking about earlier. So I'm making that legendary coal so I can make legendary plastic. Then use the legendary plastic as well as the legendary copper wires I'll get from recycling these green circuits to make legendary red circuits. All right, so I'll have the legendary plastic from my legendary coal, the circuits, and the green circuits from downcycling the legendary blues. And so that'll make more legendary reds because you actually hardly get any reds when you do blue because you use 4 times as much green. Or use like 10 times as much green circuits as red circuits. So I wanted to do that to supplement my legendary red circuit production. And then with my legendary red circuit production, I'm going to do a much better job at making these legendary modules, right? So I will still have to figure out a way to make legendary like tungsten and superconductors. Superconductors, tungsten eggs, and spoilage. So I still got to get the 3rd legendary component for each of these, which I'm going to incorporate into this as I finish it. But that's an upcoming project. And then other than that, I just cleaned up my train system. So I have this grid aligned train book that I've been working on, right? Which makes everything nice and neat. So I got my T-junction on to the grid now. And I also, this is just a 4-way junction that I got. So I just found on the internet. Just use elevated rails to kind of optimize throughput. There's probably better ones out there. This is just the first one I found and grabbed, and it works. So I'm just using it for now. It looks okay, I think. It looks kind of like off-centered looking, which is a little strange. But anyway, I cleaned up my rail, so it's all grid aligned all throughout the base now, other than this kind of top area where the coal is, and I'm just using that as a stacker anyway, so that's fine. And then down here, let's see, it looks kind of a mess, but everything is actually like grid aligned, right? So so it's like it all matches up, right? So but I just wanted to grab all of these different nodes. Down here I got a direct mining coal, which I'll use once this top coal mining runs out. This coal patch is getting kind of small, so once this coal patch runs out, I'm going to ship to direct mining here. Then down here, this is just a new copper molten copper setup. So not that I'm getting so much mining productivity, I don't need a lot of miners to put out a full belt, right? So these right now it takes these are rare quality with the rare modules with rare quality beacons with common modules, and so I only need 4 of these single module to each side outputs 140 per second, or 73.2, so that's more than a full belt actually. So pretty soon I'll be able to go down to 2 miners, which would be great. So basically I got 3 full lanes of copper. I've got full coverage on my patch here. I probably could have come back to that a lot more, but not really necessary. So I'm mining out this whole patch. There's a lot, 1.2 million, so it's reasonably sized. When this runs out, I'll come grab this one. Then right here, I have 6 foundries, which is what I need to turn all of that. When it's running full speed, this can chew through a whole full belt, slightly more than a full belt. So it chews through all of this copper when it's running full speed, and then that just gets pumped down here to, I got 3 of these molten copper chests now, which load up my trains. And so basically the just gets pumped in, or doesn't, I don't even need pumps. It actually, I was trying to put pumps here at the end, and I realized it actually goes faster if you just don't use pumps, because the way the new fluid system works. So don't use pumps if you're doing something like this. Only use pumps going in and out of the trains. And so then I just fill this up, right? If I get more than 200,000, sends out a call, but I don't need anything right now. Okay, and then let's see, over here I just optimized my petroleum. I finally put full beacons and modules in all these. These are going like 300 per second now, so it really pumps out oil quickly. Loads that up, same kind of structure I had before. But no, it goes so fast with all these modules and beacons. I separate it out into 2, and I'm not having any issues. So it's like I forgot to delete something there. Nothing really happening with the base over here. This is same thing with the molten copper. I have 8 foundries here. I could probably delete 2 of them now. This is my first attempt at like a mining thing like this. It's kind of interesting how I did this when I brought the calcite train right up the middle, like unloaded the calcite left to right. I kind of like the way that looks, right? But I can still get coverage over the train areas with these big miners. Same general setup though. I could probably get rid of some of the foundries at the end, and that I got 5 actually molten irons over here. I might go put a satellite over there as well. So that's happening over here. My kind of main bears area, I didn't really change anything in here yet. This is going to be, so that's what I'm going to do next, is I'm going to clean up all of this and rearrange this a bit. But for now, right, all my science is still coming up here. I started replacing the modules in here with these legendary and epic quality productivity modules, right? So I'm really getting a lot of those now. I think I got a few more that I need to add epic to down here at this last column. So I need another 50 or so of these epic qualities, these 9. So 9 times 4, 36. I need 36 more, basically. And as I've been doing that, my science per minute has slowly shot up. So let's pull up my science graph. Oops, I can't spell it. Science. There we go. So I'm producing close to 1.8 science per minute. Specifically, when it's running full speed, it should run at 1771, like you see the purple science here doing. That's kind of my max speed with my build, which is very, very close, like a full half belt. A non-stacked half green belt will be 1800, so it's just slightly under a stacked green belt. So it's producing 1800 roughly, consuming 1800, and so right here I'm on this is the 10-hour time scale here. So it's basically, this is a moment when I forgot to queue up science, but it's been running pretty much max speed for about 5 hours now. So it's been running close to 6,000 science per minute for quite a long time now. This is, you can kind of see here, actually, I've spent more time cleaning up this base than I realized. So right around here is when I got that purple science online. It was going just about 5,000. And then as I've upgraded these modules, it's been going higher and higher. And now that I'm looking at this, I can't believe I've actually spent 30 hours cleaning up this base. That's actually funny. I've been cleaning up so much. So we're doing a lot of progress, right? We're just slowly increasing that science up and up and up. At 1800 science per minute, or sorry, at the 1771 science per minute, which is what it's capable of, I believe. Let's do the math really quick. So we have 1771, we got double that for the biolabs. That's 3,542. And then once I get 4 legendary qualities in each, that's another 100 productivity. So we'll double that again. So when this is going full speed, and all of these are legendary, it should be able to produce about 70,084 science per minute. So already up to 6,000 science per minute, which makes this technically bigger than all of my vanilla bases except for my 10K one. But it has a capability of going up to like 7,000 effective science. Although produced and consumed, it's only 1,800 right now. So yeah, I've just been upgrading these modules slowly over time. You can see I'm getting some spoilage here from my agricultural science, which I'm not really using right now, but whatever, that's fine. So next thing I'm going to do, I'm probably not going to finish up all my legendary and module cycler production yet, because I'm not really going to be able to fully utilize this until I go clean up my other bases, right? So I need the super conductors from Fulgora, and so I need to make like a superconductor mass output thing to fully satisfy my quality circuits. Here, you know, I'm kind of constrained by these biter eggs right now, so I need to set up a biter egg farm that actually makes these fast enough. Right, and then like here, these blue circuits need this tungsten carbide, so I got to figure out ways to get more legendary tungsten carbide. Right, and so that's going to be kind of like where I'm limited with my legendary module production, which is what this base is going to be for. And so until I get that sorted out, I can't really do too much more here, although I'm just kind of getting it in place to kind of like, this has helped me figure out building this helps me figure out what I need for the remainder of it. So I'm glad I kind of got that out of the way. But the next thing I'm going to do is just kind of rearrange my main base here. I may not even do that yet. I mean, it's working fine for what it is, you know, so eventually I'm going to redo this. This is probably going to be in a feature session once I go through. So I do want to go through and get all my sciences up to 1800. Right, so right now only these 5 are capable, right? The 5 that I built here are the only 5 capable of 1800 yet. Which limits me in a way, right? So really I can only do like steel and mining at a reasonable rate. Occasionally what I do actually to do some other researches, so if you look at my cargo landing pad, I call in 4,000 and 8,000 of these electromagnetic and metallurgic, so that kind of builds up a stockpile of these. And then once I have a good stockpile, so what I'll do is let's see, like low density structures, right, uses all of these, but then I have metallurgic. So every now and then, once I get a stockpile, I'll just kind of like queue up something like that. Or I would do processing units. I wanted to get processing units up to 14 so I could reach max productivity with the electromagnetic plants. So with the module, the electromagnetic plant basically goes at max productivity now. Then I've also been doing some scrap recycling which, you know, I should actually queue that one up because I think I have like 40,000 there. So then once these kind of stockpiles build up, I can, oh, there's only 8,000 actually. That's fine. Yeah, so once the stockpiles build up, I was able to do some of these other ones, even though I'm not mass producing electromagnetic or metallurgic. Just by swapping those in on occasion, I can still hit those at about 6,000 research science per minute. So right now I'm at 6,126. So I can kind of like do it for a little bit, and then if I run low on electromagnetics or metallurgic, I can just swap the mining back in. So I've been doing that to kind of, that's how I've been getting my blue science and low density structures built up. So I'm not able to do that with rocket fuel, unfortunately, because the agricultural science packs expire. Same thing with plastic. So those I haven't really put any effort in. The gun stuff I've stopped researching as well, just because I haven't done yellow and white yet. So let's see, artillery ranges I don't really care about. Plus I can't do it because I don't have yellow and white yet. Then this other stuff, not too important yet. Can't do asteroid productivity because of agricultural science. I've been doing some scrap recycling and blue circuits. Occasionally I'll do some rocket part productivity, but that's, I don't know, least important. Let's actually queue one up. It's been a while since I've done that. Yeah, let's knock out a rocket part productivity. Cool. So that's kind of what I've been doing. Right, just kind of stocking up on resources here and building stuff. So the only thing I can't really do yet that's really important is this research productivity. I still got to get Prometheum science. That's, I don't know, honestly, that's like the thing I care about the least. But I do want to get, I still haven't built my ship to go out to the solar system edge yet. That's just sitting here waiting like a chump. So yeah, that's where I'm at. So I think I'm gonna just take a break. Like everything's working good now, so I think I'm just gonna take a break and come back and fix kind of my main base area later once I get my other planets upgraded. That's gonna be like a feature session. I've been here, like I just kind of, you know, I just showed you here that I've been, I realized now in hindsight that I've been working on this novice base cleanup for about 30 hours, which is actually unfathomable to me that I've spent that much time just tinkering around with stuff. But I got a lot of productivity. You know, I went from mining productivity, I was in the 30s, and now I'm at 110 just by like cleaning up novice, which is like crazy, absolutely insane how fast you research stuff now. So I'm gonna kind of wrap up novice where I'm at now. This is a stable functional running base that does about 6,000 science per minute, capable of going up to about 7,000 once I get some more modules, epic quality modules, and looking good. So now I want to, you know, clean up my other planets. I got to over here on Volcanus, you know, I've been upcycling these foundries and big miners. I'm starting to get a good quality of them, but what I need to do is figure out a way to make legendary of this tungsten carbide, right? That's kind of seems to be like where I'm limited with that. So I need to make some legendary tungsten carbide, plus then that'll be shipped back for legendary modules. Right, so I need to figure out how to do that. That's going to be my first priority here. I took down my purple science build because I no longer am making purple science. I'm working that back home. So I just deleted it. I still got to delete all of the components to that, which I haven't yet. And I really just need to expand this factory and get these up to 1,800 science per minute. It's kind of, I was doing some planning with these. I think with rare quality foundries, rare quality productivity modules, and single and double beaconed, I can get up to 1,800 with only 4 foundries, which is absurd how few resources I'll need to get up to 1,800. And you know what I realized I never did. So I have, look at that. I don't have modules for that. That's interesting. Or not, I feel like I have some. Let's fix that on the fly here. So these are here. This is advanced coal liquefaction, right? So it's the main source of oil here. And I really only need oil to make rocket parts. I still never replaced. These are still using simple qualification. I'm not really using it a lot, so it's good that I'm not wasting the coal, but I still haven't upgraded a lot of stuff here. Plus I can now probably use less of these and module them. It'll be much more efficient. So basically I need to kind of clean up all this junk and make a nicer belt, and then get better production lines going for this, and then figure out legendary tungsten carbide. I'm only going to do, well, for now I only plan to do metallurgic science here on Volcanus. Gleba, you know, again, I just need to redo all of this. This is just a mess. Right? I figured out a way to, you know, much nicer way to do this, so I think I might just destroy all this and start over once I get back to Gleba. Then just kind of like with Volcanus, I was doing some calculations with rare quality, everything with these, all productivity modules with single beacons. I only need 4 of these to make about 1800 signs per minute. So again, very small footprint I'll need to make a big factory. So I got to do that here in Gleba. Plus with Gleba, I need to figure out legendary carbon fiber, because I'll need legendary carbon fiber for things. Which I might, what I do is build a spaceship to make legendary carbon and just drop it. And legendary spoilage shouldn't be too hard to figure out because I've got spoilage everywhere, but this thing is chaos right now. I do want to make some up quality of these stack inserters, so a higher quality stack inserters. So I want to make like some type of upcycling for that. Although it's immediately going pretty slow because I don't have any bulk inserters currently. It's, I don't know, I never set up production for that for some reason. Something happened with my landfill mining. Got shut off somehow. I think I must have got attacked. I gotta figure that out. And yeah, so that's what's happening here on my Gleba base. It's just kind of stalled out right now. Nothing else happening that is interesting. Then over here on Fulgora, this you know, I did run out of stuff at this patch. This one's getting kind of low, so I gotta go grab these other patches and plus start upscaling stuff here. I have been doing a lot of these quality modules. I'm getting a good stockpile. I think I have around 200 to 300 quality modules, legendary quality, that have spread throughout the base. My quality production is all quality now, so that's really nice, except for these over here. But that is probably, well, let's actually pop these in now. Waiting. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so just you know, making continuously more quality modules. Then I'm doing some upcycling, or I was doing upcycling with my recyclers, my electromagnetic plants. Although I hit pause temporarily because I was shipping in a lot of electromagnetic science, and so I needed a break. Oh, see here, like I stopped producing, so let's swap that back out. Yeah. So again, we got some legendary solar panels and accumulators. The accumulators will be nice, you know, so I won't have to use quite so many. The accumulator, the legendary one, holds 5 times as much energy, I believe. So we can dramatically cut down the amount of accumulators we have. And these solar panels, I think I'm going to stop these soon. These are going to be mostly for my Prometheum mining ship. I might drop a few off on Volcanus, but I'm not really going to use these for too much. It's not that important. And I do need to get my electromagnetic plants recycling, upcycling going again. It's just taking forever though, because I've been doing some other stuff. Once I put yellow signs back on Novice, I can delete all this right here too, because I don't need yellow signs anymore here, or I don't want it here anymore. And then yeah, that's where I'm at on here. And then in Aquilo, I haven't really done too much in Aquilo, other than I did set up a quantum processor build. I'm shipping in all the parts I need now on my shipping ship here, right? It just picks up all the stuff I need and drops it off on Aquilo, and I'm making these quantum processor chips, starting to stockpile these. A lot of these were used to make some railguns, because I need railguns for make it out to get Prometheum. So I have full stack here, and I got some back on Novus ready to go on my ship. Okay, I lied. I wasn't quite finished with this place yet. I realized I never put my purple lights here, so I got some purple lights from my purple science. And also, one thing I had mentioned that this was running at 1770 signs per minute, but I wanted it to be like an even 1800. And so to do that, what I did is I placed a epic module in one of the slots in each of the sciences. across the board here. So now what that does is it boosted up the production from 1770 to, I believe it was 1803, so just slightly over half of a green belt. So you can see now all my sciences have a full half green belt coming out at full speed. And then I did notice at some points I would get little gaps, and in order to fix that, there's a couple things I could have done. Like one is play around with the stack size and adjust it until it gets to the right cadence, but that kind of takes forever with things this big, I feel like, and I didn't feel like doing it. So what I did is I added like a little tail here, so this last building stacks up a small little belt full. Then I have some like gap fillers here, and I put one of those at each science basically, just to eliminate that little gap and make sure I had a full half belt. And I did do some really small changes to the belt here. I split this into two instead of having two takeoffs, and it made this area look a little cleaner. So base looking good. All my first 5 sciences complete, looking great. This is kind of like a end stage for this part. Then up here to unload my sciences, I was having another problem last time. I had 6 chests and they all were just outputting in a straight line. It's causing the chest to be really unbalanced, and what would happen would be like the chest on the left would run out of science and then the right ones would be full, and then I wouldn't be getting a full half belt output. So I swapped out the way this outputs, and I'm still having some problems getting these chests to unload evenly, and I didn't really feel like using circuit networks. So what I did is I changed the stack size to 2 on all these. This is where I did some actual adjusting. Then now these are emptying relatively evenly, or at least even enough that oops, I forgot to insert there. At least even enough that it's not like causing problems or a gap in the thing anymore. And so once it kind of gets filled up like I have here, they just always kind of stay full. It'll get to that point eventually. This is the last one I hooked up, so it's still kind of building up its supplies. And then I was adjusting my array here, so I got all legendaries now and all the biochambers, and I did actually do some upcycling, so I got rare biochambers, and that allowed me to, because I had that big long tail, right, and I realized I should just get some higher quality biochambers, so I set up like a really simple loop, and at first I got them all replaced with rares, and now I'm just fishing for legendaries and epics, and this takes a while, so it's just slowly going to build its way up. But I'm not touching novice for a long time, so I don't have time to build up. We'll need to set up something a little better than that. But I was tinkering around with the way the modules were and the way the beacons were, whether legendary or rare. And so I got my production now. If we look at the signs per minute, I'm at 7198. So because all of these are legendaries, the max would be 7200, because you have 1800 each science for each half belt, then double that for the biochambers, which makes it 3200, 3600, and then double it again because I have all legendary modules in there, so that 3600 becomes 7200. And so I got my production just a hair under 7200, so it's running about 7198. It took me quite a while figuring around with these modules to get at that, and so each side's even, and now it's nice, just a hair under 7200, so I just have like a hair slight overproduction, which is exactly kind of what I wanted. So if we look at my chart now, my science chart, you can see it's running 1800 consumption smooth. And then I must have like a stockpile of reds because that's a little lower right now, but basically producing 1800 everything, consuming 1800, and researching at 7200 science per minute. So we're looking good. It's been running close to about half an hour now. This is back when I was tinkering with it about an hour ago. I was messing around with it, and I finally got it to work, and so it's been running pretty consistently now. So I'm really excited about that. So yeah, anyway, that's it for my novice work. I think I want to go work on Fulgora. I've been getting the itch. I noticed on my Fulgora map, one of my miners ran out of scrap, and then this one's, scraps getting down to the scraps, and I'm ready to kind of do some Fulgora work. I haven't really been here in a long time, and I want to get back here, and I got some ideas I want to try out. So that'll probably be the next session. But anyway, thank you for watching. I appreciate it if you have been following along. And I always appreciate your comments and likes and subscribes and all that. And I will catch you in the next episode.